Welcome to another episode of Space Jelly Reviews. Today I'm reviewing the MAFEX Batman Hush Superman. So this one's a pretty sought after figure, but it goes in and out of availability or something on whatever website this figure is on. I think right now it's still available, and if it's not, it'll probably be available again in the future. But this is the box, and the box looks pretty good. I like the bluish gray kind of look. Shows the figure. I might note that the blues look a bit deeper and the yellows look a bit deeper on the actual promotional images. You can probably see that here more. The figure looks nice in the promotional images. That's the side. Top over here. And the bottom. Alright, so let's get this figure open and then we'll get to the review. Now that we got him out of the box, we can get on to the review. He stands at, let's use a tape measure, about a little under 7 inches if we're counting the top of his hair, which will make him about that tall in centimeters. Doesn't show it on the measuring tape. Alright, so taking a closer look at him, he has a cloth cape. Well, I guess we'll do the aesthetics now. The figure's paint job, like I said, the yellow and the red are kind of not as bright, if that makes any sense. It's not as neon yellow or as deep of a crimson red or a blue. It still looks okay though. Like the yellow is kind of muted here. The red in the shorts is kind of dark. This is how it looks. This is pretty close to how it looks in real life. In real life it's a little bit brighter. Boots are kind of dark. The cape has a pretty nice red look to it. It has the Superman logo on the back. The blue looks okay. I think that in real life it actually looks a bit lighter than how it does on the camera. You can see there. And then look at his face really quick. Just do that. The head sculpt looks pretty nice. I think he looks a bit more like the animated movies than he does the actual Hush comics. In the Hush comics, he kind of looks like older. I don't know how else I can explain it. He looks a bit more like a mature Superman, I guess. And this one looks a little bit younger, but I don't know if I would really complain about that, honestly. I would actually prefer how this one looks rather than how it looks in the comics. And you can see his hair. I think it was drawn in the opposite direction, with his curl going this way instead of the other way around. And I'm indifferent about that, I don't really care. So, yeah, the paint work, I don't really see too many problems. I don't see any bleeding anywhere or any fuzziness. I think I see something right there, but that's not really a big deal. Back looks okay. Boots look nice. Yeah, he's pretty good. I would expect this for a figure that's this expensive, but he looks pretty good. I think that the main drawing force for this figure, for me at least, is the sculpting and proportions. He makes other Superman figures look kind of stupid in comparison. I'll bring in a few. I have not necessarily Superman, but I have this DCUC, I think, Ultraman. Relatively the same scale. You can see how much more organic but still comic book looking his sculpt is. I think I got the DCUC Superwoman. I just brought this one out for comparison's sake. I have the DC Multiverse Black Lantern Superman. different scales, but I think you can already see just how much more proportionate this Superman is with the head size and the shoulder width, all that stuff. I have the DC Multiverse Vampire Superman. You can see there how small this torso piece is versus how this looks. His shoulders are much wider. His are much more narrow compared to how big his head is. Proportioning does a lot with how a figure looks. It's not just the paint job and intricate sculpt work. It also has to be well proportioned. And here's the DC Multiverse animated series Superman. and here's the black version of that figure. And here is my favorite Superman figure. I forgot the name. But yeah, this is using the same body as the vampire one, and you can see how much better the proportioning looks. So yeah, I think this figure, in terms of looks, is probably the best Superman standard scale Superman action figure you can get right now. Alright, and on to his accessories. He has this head with the red laser eyes. I think I would have preferred it if his eyes were completely red, but he has like red pupils and white sclera. That looks cool. He has on him 2 fist hands. Came with 2 of these splayed out hands. 2 relaxed open hands. He came with these 2 hands where the thumb is kind of sticking out a bit. So I think you can grab his cape with that one. His 2 karate chop flight pose hands. That look nice. He came with these accessories, like these poison ivy vines. You can put them around his neck and around his wrists. I don't think anyone's going to display him with that, but whatever. And he comes with a hand for the MAFEX Batman, and it comes with the kryptonite ring. So that's pretty cool. I'm fine with that if it's just something minor like that. Alright. He also comes with a flight stand and this thing. Whatever. Accessories are pretty good. I'd give that like a high rating. That's a pretty good set of accessories for him. I don't know if you would need anything else. Maybe like actual transparent laser beams or something to come out of his eyes. That would be pretty cool, but he doesn't absolutely need that. Alright, and his articulation, he has, I think I'll zoom in for this one. He has a double ball peg in his head, and I think a single ball peg in his neck. The double ball peg has this funny looking bend in it. I'm not sure why they do that. You can achieve the same things as this if they just use the standard double ball peg. See, he looks up about that much, looks down about that much, and the head pivots, and the neck doesn't really move around all that much. I think if you force it, I don't know, maybe there's just not a lot of range, but I can show you with the figure. This one, my favorite Superman figure. This is just a standard double ball peg, and you can look up that far, tilt. Maybe not look down so much, but you can look up pretty far. So it's just a matter of engineering versus actually just having that joint. But I think he should still, I think that's enough for him. You can see. He has, I'm not sure what this kind of joint would be. It acts as if it is a butterfly shoulder blade joint. But I think it's like connected by a ball peg in the torso, and I don't know if it's just my one, but they're kind of hard to move. You might just need some hot water or a blow dryer for it, but it still seems to work pretty good. You can shrug your shoulders up, you can bring them down, forward and backward. It's really just for adjustment posing. You can do that. It's pretty nice. You can see how the sculpting looks on the back. Very nicely done. I like how this figure is sculpted. Arms raised up past horizontal. Full rotation. Show bicep swivel. Muscles look nice. I would like his forearms to be a bit bigger, but I don't know if that's how he was drawn. Double jointed elbow. Wrists. Swivel. And hinge on a ball peg. Hands come off well enough, and and all the hands you probably saw in the accessories portion come with little pegs that you keep in there to make sure that they don't get too tight. He has a double ball peg, I think, in the torso. He arcs back just using that joint this much. Not horrible. Crunching forward is not that good. It's still something though. Side to side, yeah, not really. This is just kind of, I guess, for adjustments up here. This is another matter of engineering. They could have easily gotten more range out of that. The bottom peg does go down more. The bottom joint, I mean. Arcs back a decent amount, so you can actually get him to a decent fight pose. And go side to side a lot. So you're getting a lot more range out of this bottom part than this top part, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. They could have just done the exact same thing that they've done down here, up here, but whatever. Rotation, obviously, on both. The diaper piece is soft. Legs go up this far without going out to the side. It's kind of unfocusing. Refocus a bit. Whatever. Legs go back. Yeah, there you go. Legs go back pretty far. That's okay. Thigh swivel. Something about MAFEX is that their thigh gaps are pretty large a lot of the time. But I think you can always pose that away pretty well if you know what you're doing. Sounds like the ball peg is binding a bit. I would use some lubricant for that. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees are good. See, another problem is that they kind of sculpt their lower legs way too long in the upper legs. It's not horrible, and like again, you can pose that away, but it's still something that's not necessarily anatomically correct. Ankles move up, not so far. They move down a little bit. And let me see if the ball peg here is lined up. I guess it's not that much range. Moves down a little bit. Toe hinge, it's kind of useless. So yeah, the articulation isn't horrible. I think I forgot to mention, he also has drop down hips. But I don't think it really raises his legs up that much. It's whatever. You can probably use it if you really crank on the joints. And I don't know if this counts as articulation, but he does have a wired cape, and it's pretty nice. The wire works, not hard to move, and they don't break so easily. So yeah, the articulation isn't bad. It's kind of like standard fare for most figures now. But I think a lot of what this figure has is the aesthetic appeal. You don't really have to put him into a crazy flight pose or whatever to have him look nice on a shelf. You can just raise up his leg and do that, and he'll look nice on a shelf, which I think is a good thing. Whenever a figure can look dynamic like this and all the things just work, all the articulation points look organic, it's when a figure I think looks the best on a shelf. So yeah, I give this a decently high rating. I think I would like to see better articulation in some places like the torso and the legs and the ankles. But still, it's a really good figure. If you can find it, I'd recommend picking it up. It's probably the best Superman figure. And I'm happy with it. I'd give this like a 8.5 or 9 out of 10, honestly. So, yeah, do with this information what you will. Of course, if you don't really let me just move my camera down. If you don't really care for this look of Superman, you want him to be like bigger. I think there actually is another Superman that MAFEX made like that. Or if you want him to be smaller, I don't know many others, but I think this is a good, nice, just standard looking Superman if you don't even care about the Hush storyline. I think this is a good pick. So, yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing if you did. And if you do, and thank you for leaving any feedback. All feedback is welcome. So, yeah, see you later. Bye.